Do you think that AI poses a threat to musicians?
As someone who builds product now, you're usually trying to solve a problem, right? And I think AI went right away to like, how do we make more of it? And like, there was no problem we were trying to solve, which is there's just not enough music out there being put on Spotify every day. Like, that wasn't the problem.
What it is about male singers, male vocalists who have got grit in their voice and they have maybe higher pitches, and that it kind of sends this subconscious signal to the audience that this is the person that we would exalt to like lead us into battle in like a tribal way. Yeah, like that kind of thing. Social media, obviously, it's about connecting people, but we are in the midst of a loneliness epidemic. So it's like social media doesn't really seem to be helping. But Stationhead, I mean, I think it's more of a value add between artists and their fans.
You had a choice. Like, I can go listen alone to the music, or I can listen with all the other super fans around the world to the music.
'Cause I got love, we got love.
I'm asking ChatGPT what I should talk to you about today.
What do you want to talk about?
It says,
what does ChatGPT think that you should talk about?
the science and soul of music.
Ooh, yeah.
Presence and purpose in a distracted world.
Dude, I'm down.
That's more about how building Stationhead taught me about real connection. Fatherhood and legacy. Not sure about that one. Sounds heavy. The artist's mind in the startup arena. The future of music and human connection.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
If it was up to me, I would just talk to you about sleep.
Sleep.
and why you value it so much. And if you have any clue about when parents listen to you talk about sleep, they're probably like, this guy does not know anything.
This guy just doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. Sleep
Sounds
great.
He's just some F-boy living in Los Angeles, La La Land. Yeah, man, sleep is important. You don't get much of it these days is what I'm gathering.
I do now.
I mean, you're running a startup.
Yeah.
You're a dad of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You're saying sleep is hard to come by?
I think when I finally pass out, I'm like known. I think I was like, I don't know the proper definition of narcolepsy, but like if you've hung out with me after a show, like when I'd be on the road, people thought I was a strung out drug addict type rocker because I'd be known for just like passing out at dinner, just falling asleep. I think I was just eternally tired. So I never had a problem falling asleep. I have a rule: I can't see a movie after 9:15 showing, and this goes back even into my 20s. Like I would just pass out, right?
Narcoleptic, huh?
I don't know. Well, I'm sure that's a real thing, and I don't want to, speak out of turn, but definitely never had a problem sleeping. But lately, sleep's tougher. Like just if I wake up, it's hard to get back to bed. And I have terrible habits because I'll do the things you're not supposed to do. Like look at the phone or whatever. I saw you had those crazy glasses. Like I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that wellness as far as sleep goes. But when I wake up, I make up for it with a wellness routine.
But you generally feel good. I think I've heard that if you're running on low sleep consistently, you get used to it. Like there's a degree of adaptation that occurs. But I don't. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I haven't slept well for the past 5 nights. I don't know why. But I've had a succession, a string of just like poor night's sleep. For the past
it's like
5
when
nights.
you know what it feels like to be. You probably created yourself to be a pedigree, right? Like
Yeah, a bit.
You know what it feels like to be so
dialed.
Yeah, that like when you're not, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
I probably just don't know what that feels like.
Yeah. I don't always sleep. I mean, I generally I would say I'm a good sleeper, but I tend to. I'm not like obsessive, but like everything you were just mentioning, like not looking into your phone before you go to sleep, that's a big one.
Yeah.
More importantly, I think it's just not exposing your eyes to really bright, like overhead light, huge TVs. Like, I mean, I've got a pretty big TV. Like, it's like blasting. It's like shining
Right.
It's like looking into the sun.
So no putting the Vision Pro on and like having to read you bedtime stories. Not a good idea.
I'm not doing much of that. But
yeah, I know they say that. They say all that stuff, but I even my like bedtime story. I feel like I was always like watching Seinfeld to fall asleep growing up. So I feel
very
like
New York.
I feel like it just became like is it much different than like, you know, your mom tickling your back and singing a lullaby to you? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I know people that like fall asleep watching movies. And granted, I know that's just not right. It doesn't even sound right as I'm saying it.
Well,
But
you've
just
had
being
a
real.
unique. You're in a unique position. You've had a unique career. I mean, you are a literal rock star, and so yeah. I mean, I know a bunch of musicians, and you included, and it's like you're constantly disrupting your circadian cycle. Like when you're not on tour, you
Yeah.
might have like normal sleep hours, but then even if you do like a one-off show, right? It's like literally flying to like across the country or even
Yeah.
to Europe
It was crazy.
Yeah.
There were that was hard.
in one night.
Yeah, I mean 2 or 3 cities in a day, and like flying through the night, driving through the night, very uncomfortable situations. I don't envy touring artists right now. You know, I think I have a few friends that they've reached the pinnacle. Like it doesn't get better. They're on like private jet back to their house every like that. Anything less than that, even a tour bus, as luxury as it sounds, like it's just not. You know, at some point, I think it catches up to you. It's physically hard. I was just talking to a friend about that. By the way, speaking of rock and roll, you know these mics. This is legit. These
Tell me about them.
They're SM7s, and famously, they could take a beating, right? And you know, you've seen like the really fancy mics in studios that like you stand far away from and they pick up everything so precisely. A lot of pop records use it, and those are the famous mics. But these, like Chili Peppers songs. Bono sings on this one.
No way.
Like this is like the road warrior, and like it has a certain character to it that because it's not so accurate, it has like a different vibe. Like you'd be surprised some of the favorite rock records that you know so well use this microphone, and so do you.
Whoa.
I love it. Yeah, man.
I mean, I just got it because it was like the Joe
the
Rogan
jam.
mic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think Robin might have used it back in the day on Howard Stern too. I think that was when I first saw it, like in a pod type of radio thing. Yeah,
Interesting.
very cool.
I don't think many people know this about me, but I love like the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of the. I mean, I appreciate one of the many things I appreciate about you is your voice. Many people appreciate that about you, but like for strong vocal performance has always gotten under my skin in a way that like few other art forms or performance arts have been able to. And I've always tried to work that muscle in myself by way of like, you know, my own singing journey, trying to get, you know, better through that art form, but then also just like the spoken, like speaking, like it's important to me that my voice sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like conscious of like the fact that this mic seems to do a good job of like picking up all the lows and the highs and whatever.
Listen to you.
But I pay attention to that. I
Yeah.
don't think many other podcasters, what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
in a really inelegant way, it's
Yeah.
like this actually it matters to me.
That's good. No, you could hear it too, because it's an engineering nightmare out there when you're going through some podcasts and stuff. Yours sounds great. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
Now I see why.
I literally like 2 weeks ago, I spent an entire weekend, entire weekend trying to dial in, because I'm not an expert in audio engineering or anything like that, but like,
You know, it sounds good.
yeah, I think
And
it
you're a
sounds pretty
musician. Do people know you're a musician?
good. I don't think many do, but
I met you more as a musician. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, trying to, you know, I don't know. Music is hard though. That's why I'm so appreciative of people who are like so good.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been building a business now, and the one thing I'm starting to realize I miss most about music, being a part of my daily like life, like making a living doing it and everything, is it connects to you know your content and what you do, which is I think there's something really special about you know, you see these guys that do like the breathing exercise. What is that? Like breath work? And,
Yeah.
you know, all these things I see when I scroll and stuff. And as a musician, I realized my whole life I was taking these giant breaths and then vibrating all the cells in my body with my voice, hearing bass and drums and music around me. Like I have to imagine, I don't know if someone studied this or not, like when I think about that and doing that every day, it really probably was a healthy experience. Like those deep breaths alone to sing the way I do and all that stuff, and then the vibrations and I realize I think I miss that mostly, like the energy of just screaming, and like getting that out there. And then you see these walking contradictions and the old rockers that you're like, how are they alive? They've beaten themselves up. They didn't follow any of the rules, and yet and I'm like, I think partly it's because for a living they say, are we playing tonight? That work is not the mind. It's like, are we playing? Like that's work, right? Are we playing tonight? Are we playing today? We're playing. Play. And then also they're around these vibrations and music their whole life. There's got to be something to it. I imagine there's some science behind this.
Some like throat
genius
chakra
man
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I do miss that. I miss like rocking out. And I grabbed your guitar before I came up here off your wall. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's no more visceral performer than you. Like that's like one of the things I love about your shows, and I miss them because I feel like you haven't played in a while, or at least like in the city that I'm in.
Yeah. I haven't played since before pandemic.
Dude,
I had a show like a few weeks before it all shut down.
Do you feel? I feel like being able to sing like you, like that's a superpower. Like superpowers don't exist, but to the extent that they do, like there's no greater superpower in my view than being able to sing well and to sing like you. Like, I mean, you freaking you've got a gift, man.
It's yeah.
Like, do you feel that?
I
Or is it just like you've been doing it your whole life, so you're just like, it's like wiping your ass at this point?
I think, like, if talent's sprinkled all over the place, like I definitely am aware I have a talent in the voice that I get to use. And,
were you always aware?
I think in the beginning, no, I always loved it. There's no doubt. Like, I was the kid putting on shows and
Was there a moment where you were like, damn, like I not only can I do this, but like other people don't seem to be able to. This seems unique to me.
I think it's a combination. It's funny. My brother sounds just like me when we speak, right? And we have very different singing voices. So I think there's probably a little part of working towards developing your muscle and your talent, of course. And then there's just the God-given thing. And I understand it's a superpower, and I'm grateful for it. And I leaned on it a lot, right? Because sometimes you maybe even a song isn't the best song, but because you're singing it in a certain way, it tracks,
Yeah, keep going. I just want to close the window. We got some like road noise. Sorry, guys.
I love it.
What is that?
They knew the New York City guys here. They wanted to put some street noise in the mix. Yeah.
Well, that's like it's a double-edged sword of living in a densely populated area. Yeah, man, so freaking good. So you're aside from the music, it feels like your career's always been about connecting people. I mean, first it was obviously the music, and then you had a stint on network TV, which was nuts. Maybe you can talk about that. But then also now you're building this incredible app, Stationhead, which is connecting people in a completely different way.
Yeah, I think. When I look at the connection with all of that, I clearly like making things, right? And I think passion has led me, like it's always a passionate thing. I think when I'm singing, I lean on the passion part of it. In creating Stationhead, I lean on the passion for doing that, right? I think that's definitely, however I go about doing things, it usually stems from like me really having to believe it. And I think that's important because then you don't fake it, right? I see what you do. Same thing, right? You're like deeply passionate about this, right? I think that matters. And then, I think I like making things. So at some point you make music and you just do it. And then this idea. And it's fun because I get asked, oh, you're not making music as much. And how does that, why not? How do you feel? And I feel like the thing I signed up for with music was, sitting on a bed, writing a song, hoping that it would inspire someone through music, the way music maybe inspired me. And then with Stationhead, because it is also around music and connecting people and listening together to artists' work in a very lonely, isolated time, a digital experience, we get to connect people through music. And for me, it's like I'm doing that at scale. I'm like inspiring, connecting people through music at scale in a way that maybe a hit song can do, but even bigger than that. Like that's what I feel like I'm building with Stationhead. And it's no different than like getting a band in the van and trailer and say, hey, we're gonna like starve and drive through the night and beat ourselves up for this like show, half hour of glory tomorrow. I think it's the same thing building a company, right? Like you're getting people that believe in this bigger vision and bigger dream, and you're getting them to come on board and build it for the greater good. And so a lot of it never felt like I left or like departed from music or anything like that. It still defines me. And it's weird because even at a doctor's office, when they're like, what do you do? Occupation. I'm always like, music. It's just music. That's what I do. And anything I do is still music. I think what you do is musical.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Was there a learning curve for you, like squeezing your artist brain into this more sort of entrepreneurial, self-sufficient role? Because I mean, I know for me, like I consider myself an artist and a creative, and where I struggle is with like the more operational business side of what it is that I do,
Yeah. When I started in the business side, it was very clear, I think, because you mentioned my talent with my voice. I knew what it felt like to be really good at something. So I was very aware of things I wasn't good at, and then I would make sure to learn or have people around me to help that. So I think that was a good experience, being, humble enough to know you need help and what you're good at and what you're not good at. And I think, I came from a world where I did a lot of the stuff myself. It was, I was maybe the best in the room at that. Right. So this was the first time I was, in rooms where I wasn't the best. And I made sure to like learn it and surround myself with good people. So that was tough. But I think in general, I think musicians, and it's funny because a lot of musicians like do evolve to tech. Partly because it's like the new rock and roll, like it hasn't been done before, or like move fast, break things. That idea was like turning it to 11. That was the feeling. I remember I talked to my friend. I'm so lucky to have a guy like this in my life because he's seen everything in music. Stevie Van Zandt from Springsteen's band. Legend, and all the great things he's done in life. But like he when I was starting Stationhead, he was like, I think I would have done that. Like, he picked up a guitar because that was like the rebellious thing to do at that time. And he's like, maybe I would have probably started a tech thing if I was, coming up now, because it wouldn't have been obvious. So being in a band or being a musician wasn't as unique as it once was. Anyone could make a song from their phone now. So I think tech did inspire musicians to kind of evolve to that thing of like, hey, this is new stuff. And I think that's the rock and roll spirit, right? I forget the sonic sound of rock and roll. I think the spirit of rock and roll is doing something new and different and like pushing the limits, right? So it felt really cool doing that. And then there's also this mischievous idea of a musician, right? Like if you told someone they can't, use a drum set on this record, they'll figure out a way to make something rhythm. They'll work around it and solve a problem. The problem is I need rhythm still, right? So building tech is what problems are you solving, and how do you move and groove and figure it out? And it's a very musical thing. And then there's the craziness of driving through the night and like the determination and the tenacity of built into a touring musician that also favors building a tech startup.
Yeah.
You got to be built for it.
And especially, today as a musician, you probably have to be a lot more entrepreneurial than you had in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're in that world. Look what you've done here. I mean, you've figured it out.
Brick by brick, like learning on the go,
I can't imagine. And there's a lot of noise. It's cool because anyone now you have like, there used to be so many, the gatekeepers, right? Like, so it was blocking all the voices to be heard. And now all the voices could be heard, which is a beautiful thing. And we're going to get so much great things out of that because we would have maybe not heard of them before, but it also presents a real problem of a lot of noise, right?
Yeah.
How do you sift through it? And that's like, I don't know how you've done it. Clearly you did. I would hope to believe that the good stuff just rises. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
Yeah. Well, social media feels like really transactional these days, but I definitely think that the silver lining of it all is that, quality. Well, it's not even, the problem today is that it's not even necessarily the quality voices that are rising to the top. It's the voices that are the loudest. And sometimes it's the loudest voices.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. It could be a problem. I think in in the past it was the algorithm. It was less. What would rise to the top was less algorithmically dictated, and the algorithms today seem to favor controversy, seem to favor engagement, and it's not always necessarily the case that the best quality rises to the top. It's maybe the person who's like saying the most outlandish shit.
Right. That could be dangerous.
Yeah,
that could be dangerous.
I mean, in my world, I don't know about music,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Who knows? I mean, there's with music, there's still magic. There's still miracles that are happening, and any successful superstar, there's no playbook, right? To become a successful doctor, there's some things you do. Go to a school, learn these, get the right internship, whatever it is, like to rise to the top. There's kind of these playbooks in other industries, but yeah, music is one of those things where there's just some magic at hand, and I think staying alive and keep doing it is probably the only way to get there if you're going to get there.
Yeah. But also think about
there's no playbook. Like Bieber's not going to explain to a kid how to make it. Like, oh, you put your music on YouTube and then Usher finds it. Like that's not gonna. Yeah. You can't. You almost learn more from people's concrete failures of like that doesn't work. That's some data. Like it doesn't work when you do this, so don't do that. But to learn from people's successes is really hard in music.
Yeah, and you had to take risk, growing up, like putting yourself out there at shows and then throwing yourself into the spotlight on that TV show, right?
Yeah, sure.
What was the name of that?
Rockstar Supernova.
Rockstar Super, yeah.
Yeah, that was a risk because like I was like an indie guy that being on a TV show sounded like a killer. Like why would you do that? But it was also a time where exposure was exposure. How do you get your voice out there more? And I just kind of took that path to say I want as many people to hear my music as possible. So this is a vehicle to do it.
Did we meet before or after you did that?
I think we met before.
Before?
Yeah. You were at a show of mine before.
Yeah.
At like Hotel Cafe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Well, Stationhead, I think one of the dope things about it is that social media, obviously, at its like core, it's about connecting people, but we are in the midst of a loneliness epidemic. So it's like social media doesn't really seem to be helping, at least with that goal.
Yeah.
But Stationhead, I think is like, it feels a lot less transactional. It's more of a value add between artists and their fans.
Absolutely. So like, of course, there's like musical moments where you just want to zone out and listen to something alone and have it affect you. But like this digital world, as far as music being a social thing, it didn't think of that, right? Like everything's on demand. You can get all the music you want in the world, but like it's a little farther from, the core of music and being a social thing. And then we would find when we were figuring out Stationhead, we would find that these kids would be like on Twitter and they were listening to a new release and they'd say, I'm listening to the new Ryan Star. Are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. Are you? And they'd be like tweeting back and forth that they're all listening. But they were alone listening, right? In their own world. And they were kind of figuring out a way to connect that way and using the tech. And then very simply, like Stationhead made a platform where they can do that together, right? So much like Twitch has like the video game as the campfire that you're sitting around. Stationhead had the music, right? So these things, they started calling them listening parties, right? And like all of a sudden now Stationhead is this listening party platform where like you had a choice. Like I can go listen alone to the music, or I can listen with all the other super fans around the world to the music. And that's what we created. And it was a really beautiful thing. And you saw the connection happening and people remembering these moments like it was a concert. Like I'll never forget at midnight, and that record dropped and we were all together and, I met you that way. And then these parties would get big enough that the artist would hear about it and organically just hop on, and the first artist to ever do it, Cardi B, just hops on and she's like, my fans are hanging out here listening to my music.
That's so
Let's
sick.
go. And she hops on and they're like, Cardi, welcome to our channel. Like, welcome to our station. And I thought, how cool is that this idea in social media that you would need the star to bring the audience. Now we had the fans kind of in a grassroots, organized way. Because these fans are organized. They're very like mobilized. They're very organized around the world. And they mobilize and they do really cool things together in real life. But now digitally, they were able to have a place and it attracted the artists to the platform. And that was really cool. That was a real unlock for us to be like, whoa, we flipped it on its head. That if we build so much attention to the fan and what they want, that they would build the home that the artist then would come to, and kind of show that appreciation of like, you're my super fan, and here I am giving. It was a really special thing.
Yeah, that's so sick.
And we keep doing that as we keep building.
And this is sound like a boomer question, but like, so Twitch, because I never thought about it that way, but it's like Twitch for music.
In a way, right?
Like Twitch is when you're watching like your favorite gamer. I'm not a gamer.
Yeah,
so I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
Like, and you're kind of like watching as he plays. You're
the game is the thing that you're all there for, and then
communally experiencing
the creator. Yeah. So in a way for sure, it's kind of like that for music, and we keep doing really cool things, and it's starting to feel like an event, like a digital venue.
Cool.
Right. And so that's what we've been building. It's been pretty special, and you'll hear kids like, I never thought Billie Eilish would come to my city, but like I met her on Stationhead that night, like that was a big deal, and or this band 5 Seconds of Summer never like, and then you go to the concerts and people are meeting, they're hanging up banners literally at concerts saying like Stationhead fam meet here. So it's become a symbol of, if you're a real fan, you're here.
Yeah.
And the artist recognizes that, right? So the artist comes and thanks you for being there, but when the artist leaves, the fans are still there as a community, and that's what's really cool. It's almost like a grassroots political campaign. Like, you're putting up posters, you're ringing doorbells, and you're doing all that work, and then the politician would come and like take pictures and hang and thank you and bring some bagels, and then they'd leave, but you're still there as a community working, right? And like, that's a fun experience as someone who follows an artist or believes in an artist. That's what I loved on the road so much. When I'd go to the merch booth after a show and make that real connection, I'm done being on the stage and being that person, but making that connection and taking the time to connect with the people that are actually supporting me, and there for me through all the evolution of my career, like that thing, that relationship didn't really exist on social media as it was, and so that's the heart of what we built at Stationhead. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's dope. It also has a bit of like that Clubhouse vibe. Like, do you remember when Clubhouse was popping off in like 2020?
Sure, yeah, conversations and people connecting.
Yeah, but I think it ended up being like, it was like a little bit ahead of its time, and it was too, I think, like you weren't really connecting, and there was no shared, it was like too random. There was no like shared experience there, There's
something about building something organically, and it I think other platforms, they over engineer and overthink of like how we're going to put this out and release. And for us, we didn't have the luxury of like getting stars on it or anything. We just had to build something that resonated with the audience. So we got lucky in that way.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody has seen the power, the ability of music to bring people together like you. I mean,
yeah,
you're the freaking, like, you're the, whatever they call like the person in the tribe who's just like at the center screen. Like, you're the like there's a tribal kind of vibe to your shows, I feel like. And yeah, like there's definitely, like, seeing a Ryan Starr show, people definitely connect in a unique way.
I think it comes again back to the passion. It's like, I think it's what people love about watching someone score a touchdown. I think when you see people,
you're like a shaman,
live in their truth
in a way, like a musical shaman.
That's a deep compliment, man. I don't even know how to take that. I had a song called Shaman when I was in high school.
Really?
I love that song. I think the attraction, if I were a fan of what I did, I'd say, oh wow, this he believes it, right? So whether you like the songs or not, I think there's something really special when someone's living their truth, and I really think that's what people tune in that don't even like, I think when you're watching the game and like you see someone, like it's such a human thing to see someone like, all the stuff, all the training, everything, and like to see them have that moment and like be in that moment. I think we're really attracted to that. I think so much of our day is just not in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So when we see others do it, it's aspirational, and then hopefully, we get inspired to find that within ourselves. I think it's probably, I think what you're getting at, maybe when you'd watch me, and then if that goes and inspires you to do the thing, then I'm happy. Then I did my job.
Yeah, there was some study, like, I mean, it's kind of a weird study, but I remember like years ago, I remember reading like what it is about male singers, male vocalists who have like kind of like a grit in their voice, and they have maybe higher pitches, and that it kind of sends this subconscious signal to everybody, in the audience, that this is the person that we would exalt to like lead us into battle in like a tribal way, because they're the one with the war cry. Yeah, like that kind of thing, you know?
That's cool. I wonder. You see, I have so many questions for you because you study this stuff. But like, I wonder in the same way with female voices, how that works, right? When men hear it, or I don't know, all this stuff about voice, right? Like, reminds me of when I was meeting my wife, and like we'd be on the phone at night, and I wonder if that played a big part, like just my like whisper of how I was talking to her, and like, did that play a part? My voice is my talent. And I wondered, and I sometimes think about that, like, not to, I don't want to say anything. I don't know how people take this wrong or right, but I wonder, like a woman, let's say before she's a mother, does her voice resonate differently in the human way? Like, did Tori Amos sound different to me, or Fiona Apple before they grew up? But like, just when you think about pheromones, is there something like that happening in the voice?
I think there has to be.
Yeah, I wonder, like,
Well, that gets into like the very topical discussion of like what's happening with AI. Like, do you think that AI poses a threat to the music? I mean, the music industry certainly, but musicians, like, dude, like, do you think like a song is going to be able to get under your skin and resonate with you in a way if you know that it wasn't written by another human?
Right. Dude, I was just at my friend's place, a producer friend of mine, my friend Ito, and he's made records with me, written really cool songs together too. And he was showing me, and I haven't seen him in a minute, and I was like, yo, what are sessions like these days? Like it evolves. And he's showing me how he's using AI in the sessions. And then he was like writing a song he was pitching to Rihanna, and then he just put Rihanna's voice on the song. Whoa. So typically you'd get like someone to sing it, maybe a girl that you thought sounded like her, or you just sing your demo and there'd be my voice on. I've done demos like that for artists. And just to put her actual voice on it, I'm just like, I mean, so there's so many questions around this, and even IP laws and rights. It's a very hot topic in the industry. But my issue as someone who builds product now and someone who like thinks about technology, I think what you learn is you're usually trying to solve a problem, right? And this is my just at the macro of like AI and music right now. And the problem, you're usually trying to solve a problem, and that's how you build good technology. So what are we trying to solve? And I think AI, as cool as it is and all these great things, for whatever reason in music, it seemed like it went right away to like, how do we make more of it? And like, there was no problem we were trying to solve, which is there's just not enough music out there being put on Spotify every day. Like, that wasn't the problem. And it seems like it went right to that. Like, now people are able to like make more music and put it out there. It's like, oh, it'd be like overnight if like now there's just more podcasts. It's like, that's not a problem we're trying to solve for.
Yeah.
So it's interesting it went there. And I think the cool thing about AI I think about is like, as an artist, for me in the studio growing up, because I came up in the analog world and I watched it turn digital and been navigating through that. But as an artist, you're really just trying to get the thing you see in your head out, right? So you channel something, really is the way I think about it. And then, and now it's like, the hard part is, how do I get this thing in my head out? And this is when you become like a crazy guy that no one wants to be in the studio with, and you start getting into fights with your band and like, you just do it, just get out. And, to get the snare drum sound you wanted, you talked about the microphone and you like spent the weekend doing it. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. And to get that right snare drum sound, it would take sometimes 3 days in a studio, like with engineers, and like, there it is, we got it. And then, you fast forward a few years and, there's a sample library now, and it's just like, I want that Deftones type snare drum sound. It's like, oh, there's the Deftones drum sound. Boom. So there's something that I think intent and like the actual hand crafting that thing is gone, but it's faster, and we could like workflow it faster. Like, that's interesting that it's gone there. And now with AI, it's like a whole new thing. It's like, you don't have to get the musicians in the room. It's like, hey, make it more bluegrassy. Hey, make it more jazzy. And like, so I don't know where it goes. I don't know if anybody does, but I think the fun of like the craft, if you're just, is a little gone, but the effort of like that pain of getting it out of your head, it might actually be really cool. It's like, I don't know, I have 1,000 voice notes in my phone, and I never did the work to finish those 1,000 songs. Maybe now I'll be able to, here you go, let's finish it. It's fascinating. You should play with it. I'm more obsessed with like talking to ChatGPT and realizing how smart we're going to get really quickly. It's really exciting.
Dude,
my philosophy major is coming into play finally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you majored in philosophy in school. Yeah. Wow. I agree. I use it for pretty much everything. Like ChatGPT has made me smarter. It's improved my health. I mean, it's improved my work.
Yeah.
It's streamlined so much. But I still think that there's a component of art that needs to come from a human. There's like
pain.
A soul
Are you talking about pain?
Or
are you talking about human? Like what part? And I don't know if we already have a song out there. We might find out 5 years from now that song that we all loved was created by AI.
Well,
like,
even if you take a song that's fully like from soup to nuts created by AI.
Yeah.
But like you put your name on it. So this is something that like Ryan Starr, who's an artist that I really admire and resonate with, like this is coming from him in some novel way.
Yeah.
Like that would do a lot in terms of getting me to vibe with it. But if it's just like people are using the term AI slop.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Too,
now,
because it's become so easy
to
just pump out shit,
Yeah.
Algorithm chasing, like very low signal to noise crap.
Putting your name on it. So you just described, I think, like the art of being a DJ, right? Like it's their taste. They're taking all this stuff and like they're putting it all together and making it sound a certain way. Like that's a DJ, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's where like songwriters are headed and producers. They're just kind of like seeing it through. But the cool thing, regardless of where it goes, with certainty, we do know that every few years there'll be someone special sitting with an acoustic guitar, and it's just gonna hit the spirit and the soul in the way, and the world's gonna shake.
Yeah.
That's still gonna. That's proven itself to be a timeless thing. The right storytelling, the right no matter how much. Many superhero movies we see, like there's still going to be that one that comes through. So,
but it's the emotion. It's like like AI can't replicate emotion.
Not yet.
Approximate.
Not
emotion.
yet.
Yeah, but it's like it's going back to that study. It's like maybe AI can approximate or replicate like your voice when you're hitting one of those freaking high notes where all the veins in your neck are busting out of their seat.
Yeah.
But like it's not gonna be the same as like watching you do that in person.
When I'm hitting that note, there are a lot of lines of code going through my head of thoughts and feelings that you're right, that won't be replicated, but it might have its own version of it, right? I don't want to say anything because I don't want to be that guy that like 20 years later you're playing this thing back and you realize how wrong or right we were. I don't need to be in that world, but that fight. But I think I'm always, we always don't think it's headed a certain way, and then it does, right? And I've heard the people talk about pain, like you need pain, you need the human thing, and humans are interesting. But who hasn't been like blown away? I'm fascinated. I think, look, my guidance counselor was a human, and they fucking sucked. I don't even know the person's name. Like they didn't care about me. They didn't help guide me. And then much later in life, I realized the power of like a mentor and someone looking out for your best interest. And, maybe if I was wearing, my wife's a good example because she went into teaching and she's an incredibly gifted teacher. But she wound up not loving it. It just wasn't for her being in the classroom. And, I wonder if like she had her AI coach along the way that knew her metrics, knew her anxiety speaking in front of people, knew her love for math. Like maybe it would have said, "Hey, I know you think you want to be a teacher, but have you looked into this? I've been watching you." And like I think I think we have the opportunity to maybe have something incredibly on our side to like maximize us, to become the best version of us that we can be. What's that saying? Like hell is meeting the person you could have been, or something like that.
Whoa.
And maybe philosophy major again.
Damn.
And maybe we'll be in a place where, we could live that and could be that thing. And now that I was admiring your life here in LA, and I was hanging out with some of my artist friends, and I'm in the grind in the business world in New York now. And, there's so many people out there that really feel like they're just tapped into the matrix, like time to go work. And like so many people are not living their whatever that best life could be. And it's hard to tell people like, oh, just go take a chance. And like we all see this post and we all scroll, and it's like, just believe in yourself. It's not everyone could do that, and especially as you get older and you have responsibilities. And like, I want to believe everyone could do that, but I don't know, maybe there's a world where the AI is going to help us get there earlier, and not feel like we just like got stuck and dream about the other life we could have had. Maybe we all could live that life. This has nothing to do with singing. I don't know how we got here.
No, it's true though.
But it excites me. I'm an optimist with all this stuff.
It makes me think about,
Of course, it could be the end of the world and the robots will kill. I don't know, but
like T2
I'm an optimist.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably coming.
Yeah. Well, people are now using.
I took a Waymo here, man.
Oh, you have?
Oh my God. Yes.
Those are. I've never been in one.
It's crazy.
Self-driving cars.
Yeah, I texted to my family and I was like, check this out. And my sister's like, get out of that car immediately. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It's weird looking next to you and not having someone, and the steering wheel still being there. Like that's interesting. I'm excited about that.
Apparently Tesla's going to kill, because they don't. Like the Waymos use something called LiDAR, which is it just like it requires a lot of different types of technology.
Yep.
Whereas like Teslas it's all built in. Like every Tesla is going to have this capability.
Yeah. I think in 2 years, 2 years we're not driving. I mean, it's gonna be cool.
Okay, well this ties back to the music conversation. I love Tesla technology, and there's no question that a Tesla, like Teslas are fast, right? Like the fastest car right now in the world, I believe, is like a Tesla, right? 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. I drive an internal combustion engine car, which feels like ancient history now when you look at these new, electric vehicles, and they're not as fast, but there's something emotional about being in a car with an engine that doesn't translate even when you're in a faster car.
Yeah. It's like me singing versus the AI singing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I hadn't connected those dots until just now, but there's something emotional about being in a car, even if it's not as fast, because you've got that engine and you hear the sound and about the heritage of the building and the whatever. Take a Porsche or an Aston Martin. Like they're not going to be as fast as the latest and greatest Teslas. And I love Teslas. I think they're incredible cars. But to me, there's something about the emotional, like being engaged emotionally when behind the wheel of one of these. It's
like dial in that number on a rotary phone, man. That emotion, just turning that thing. Tick, 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 tick. You're living in the past.
I'm not, though. I'm not a Luddite. I love technology. I grew up with technology. I'm a child of the internet, but I just feel, I don't know. But on the other hand, like people are now using AI, like ChatGPT as their therapists, which I think is dope. Like
I started seeing a therapist for the first time in my life.
You did?
Yeah.
When?
When I couldn't like get into an argument without her saying, you should really see a therapist. I feel like my wife, she became like, like vegans, that I'm sure a lot of them listening here. I love vegans, by the way. I'm not touching anything controversial today. You're braver than I am on the internet. But like, here, forget vegans. I got a sauna, right? Now I'm like, everyone needs a sauna. Like, you need a sauna. Like when people get behind something and now everyone needs to do it, right? I don't need meat. Don't eat. You shouldn't eat. that became that with my wife. She found it, and she's like, everyone should have a therapist. So like, I just had to get on board. And I've never had anything against therapy. So I was like, okay, she wants everyone to see a therapist. I'll see a therapist, which was a great jumping point to meet a therapist to say, I'm here because my wife told me I should. So we had a lot to talk about instantly. And that's been fascinating. I love it reflecting back. I didn't realize that it was going to be like that. I didn't know it was going to be kind of more of a mirror for me to work out stuff in a really cool way. But yeah, AI, he's like, that's my competition. Like he sees it clearly. So it's gonna be fun.
That's crazy.
There's so much I'm gonna have to get to my flight, and there's so much we didn't talk about. I wanted to talk about all the wellness stuff, and I'm on the genius life, man. This is a dream come true. And then, and I know you so personally for so long. Now people know that you're into cars. They're learning you're like a real dude.
Yeah, man.
You're like a man.
No, I'm not like a car guy, but I like.
It's a very sexy car. I'm not gonna tell everyone exactly what you're driving, but it's very.
Thanks, man.
You're a superstar, man. Very cool.
I like. Yeah, I think maybe I get it from my dad or something. I don't know.
I'm not a car guy
at all.
No, I'm.
I'm not a car guy, but I will say that like I enjoy. I can appreciate like really quality engineering, and heritage. Like I like when there's like the brand itself doesn't matter. I do think that things can make you happy. Like you'll get like curious your thoughts on this, but like there are obviously divergent viewpoints. Some take a more minimalist approach to life. Things can't buy you. The things you own end up owning you mentality. I actually think like when I'm sitting in my car and it's clean and I've got a nice stereo in my car and I'm playing the right song, like there's a thing that's bringing me joy.
Yeah, I believe that. I think a feeling is good. And as an artist, there's this like idea that, they got to be starving and they got to be like, they're back against the wall to make their great work. And I always thought like when I was most confident and comfortable was when I made my best work. It was a different, you can like breathe, you can like think straight. So I think a feeling does matter. I think sitting in your car is like, that's a valid point. It's going to make you actually feel different. I think there's something to that for sure.
You probably once at some point bought a guitar that you once pined for.
Yeah. I hear you. I am a little less, I love this one, by the way, this little banger. I think
tell us about it.
I have one of these too.
Did I buy that because of you?
I think so. It's this like little Yamaha.
It's $100.
Ukulele. Yeah.
And it's like one of the best musical investments you could ever make.
It sounds like a ukulele, but it's a guitar setup.
You gonna play something for us?
I'd love to. Let's see.
Dude.
I haven't sang in a long time. I sing all the time. And I started taking piano lessons. I've never taken a piano lesson in my life.
Which is crazy because you're so good.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good piano player. Yeah. And then I started, my kid, like we do this a 2-hour block where I take a half-hour lesson and my kids take it and my wife takes it. And the guy's amazing. He's context switching, to teach us differently. He's in a band called the Lemon Twigs. You should check them out. They're awesome. And he's got his own solo stuff too. But
play something.
I started learning like jazz stuff, so I haven't like played one of my songs in a while.
Where are you gonna put the mic so it catches some of the guitar as well?
Yeah, we'll do this. Let's see.
Okay.
Or you can give me yours. Oh, no, you should sing with me.
No, I want people to hear you because I'm such a big fan. You're like one of the greatest joys in my life is when I get to call people a friend who I'm also a fan of. So like you're that person for me. Like I love you dearly. We've been close friends for a really long time, but I'm also like a huge fan. And so I want people to understand.
We have a cool friendship like that.
Yeah.
It's a mutual respect. I remember when you started this part of your journey, and to see what you've done is incredible. Thanks, I'm not kidding. I feel like I'm inside of something that I've only seen on the the screen, and this is like a trip. I recommend everybody coming on your show.
Oh man, thank you.
And we didn't talk. I have so many. My point is, I had lists of questions I want to ask you about.
We can go through
vitamins.
Them. We still have some time.
I want to. I have to get the flight. I have no time.
Yeah,
I'm going to be stressed.
That's true.
I would like to be on this again because I actually want to talk about. I've vitamin questions, longevity questions. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably like a lot of people out there. I'm just confused. I'm coachable. I want to do the right thing, but then I don't know what the right thing is because someone like you is telling me one thing, and then someone else is telling me another thing, and it's very confusing out there.
Don't drink your calories. Prioritize protein.
But like, really, can't drink?
Lift weights.
Ever drink? I know you
mean,
don't drink.
no, you can.
Going to dinner with you, my family knows. It's like, I rise to the occasion. But I can't have bread. I can't have a glass of wine. It's like I have to make plans after I hang out with you.
No,
I have to go with someone else to dinner after I have dinner with you.
I am not obsessive like that. Like my audience knows I'm not like one of these like orthorexics. I practice what I preach, but I think you got to make room in life for the indulgences. Call them planned indulgences.
Okay.
I think that's a
but
smart
like,
strategy.
I'm going to the plane. They're gonna like hand out some crap.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna eat it, and I hate that.
Right.
But, and I wish it was just like not available. I started importing. It's funny because it's like the hot topic now with the dyes and stuff. But and we didn't get to talk about this. But I grew up. My mom's an activist. Like, I grew up in an activist home. We were Whole Foods before organic existed. Like, we went to all different parts of the town to like find the right stuff. I've been drinking wheatgrass since I'm 10 years old. We were the freaks of the neighborhood. They would roll their eyes at my mom. Like, Cheerios was banned. It was like we had to get Oat-O's, if anything. It was like, there was. I grew up in the candy closet in all the houses. For me, was like oats and quinoa and barley, all these things, right? And a poster that had, I still remember it, and it sent so many of my friends home crying to their parents because it had the poster and it showed the candy and then the ingredients of the candy and what it causes, right? The disease it would cause. And kids would come over and see this thing and be like, I had Skittles today. Like, oh my God. And they come home. What did you tell my kid? The mom would call my house. Like, it was just, I grew up very health conscious. So it's incredible to see the world go there now. But now that I have kids, it's really messed up. Like, they make it so hard. Like, you're at a party and your kid wants the cake and it's like, this is crap. I know it's crap. And I almost envy the people that don't know it, because I try not to make my kids anxious about it, but I'm also not going to be the parent that's like, we don't eat this, we got to go. And I just wish it didn't exist. And I'm very hopeful for the future of where this can go. And people are finally, thanks to people like you, and I know you were part of that. Were you part of that? All the signatures to get the dyes out of the.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing. Like, I've been waiting for this moment in time.
Yeah.
And I want more of that. And however I can help moving forward on that stuff, because I just wish we followed, like, let's not poison everybody. Like, and granted, you're so smart on this, so I'm representing anybody listening as like the normal guy that's trying to do his best, but also, is trying not to lose sleep too much over it. But I wish we didn't live in a world where profits over health, and it's clear that's what this is. Anyway.
Amen, brother.
All right. You should sing the chorus with me, though.
I'm not gonna.
I'm singing this one because I know you love this one.
I love this song.
And this is about a wonderful place called Montauk. Let's see. Hopefully this sounds okay. You can engineer it. 3 months of summer coming. We got nothing but time. I wanna feel the sun, forget my name for a little while. Yeah, I know a place we can leave it all behind. Yeah, I wanna go. So meet me where the island ends. Stop the world so we can spin. Dizzy we fall, but it's worth risking to be the one you want. I'm gonna cut a hole in the fence. I'm gonna see you on the other side. I wanna smell the smoke on my clothes in the morning from the bonfire. Yeah, I know a place we can get so much higher. And I wanna go.
So meet me where the island ends. Stop the world so we can spin. Dizzy we fall, but it's worth the skin to be the one you own. We turn the headlights off to catch a shooting star. We scream into the sky and tell them who we are. And if it all came down right now, yeah, I wouldn't mind, 'cause I got love, we got love. Meet me where the island ends. Stop the world so we can spin. Dizzy we fall, but it's worth the skin to be the one you want, to be the one you want. Come on, Max.
No.
Come on with me, please. To be the one you want, to be the one you want. The genius life. Yeah. No harmony? Come on, man.
Dude, you're so good at, like, it makes me want to cry.
Oh,
it's so fucking good.
I so appreciate you giving me this time to sing a song, man. I can't thank you enough. I needed that.
Dude, you're so incredible. I just, like,
You're the best. You're the best.
like words can't even, it's just, what a gift. God damn.
Thanks, brother.
So good. I think you've got, like, your voice is just so incredible, man. It's like otherworldly. Oh, I was getting goosebumps. Made me want to cry.
This was 100% organic.
100% organic.
This was grass-fed,
gluten-free.
no AI.
That's some gluten-free talent right
That
there.
was some real, that was real shit. And you're real shit. And I love you, and I'm proud of you. And I want to do this again so we could talk about, I'll bring all my vitamins and we could talk through it all, and you could help me, because I think I represent a lot of people out there that lean on you for some guidance, and appreciate everything you do, man. I love you.
You've got such an amazing catalog on Spotify and Apple Music. You're on Apple Music, right?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah,
You guys
check it out.
Like,
go listen.
Angels and Animals. I think one of the most. And you're such a gifted songwriter. It's like you've got it all.
Yeah, thanks, man. Angels and Animals is special. That's a real story from beginning to end. And I was thinking on the way here, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever do that again. Like, I put that wiped me out. I put my everything into making that album, a real album, and it's one of those things. Like, no one really cared, but that's okay. And then things that rise to the top, I didn't let you never know where it goes. But I'm proud of that one. I'm glad you mentioned Angels and Animals. They're all special moments in my life that I'm proud of, regardless of how they do. And we're so number fixated in this world now, and it doesn't matter to me anymore. There's some space between it.
I mean, obviously, like, there are millions of people that use Stationhead, but you've got legit, like, legions of fans that are dying to know when you're going to be out back on the road, like, playing shows.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe this sparked something just now, just doing this with you. I appreciate the platform.
I just want to speak for them, because I'm one of them.
Cool, man.
Right on.
All right,
Damn.
I want to come back and do this again.
All right,
this was great.
I love you again. I love you, brother. one last question for you before we get to that. How can people support you? Where can they find your music? How can they sign up for or find Stationhead?
Yeah, man.
Social media, all the places.
Put in ChatGPT, just say like, who's Ryan Starr? How do I find? I think, Stationhead. Definitely check out Stationhead.
It's one R.
Yeah, one R.
Starr,
Ryan
yeah.
Starr. I've been R Star since the kindergarten. You know, that's my middle name. But yeah, I have R Star on Instagram. I'll check that again sometime. And yeah, just I am me. Here I am. Find me wherever you find things.
Word up.
And thanks again for having me do this.
Yeah, brother.
I love it.
Last question. Got to ask, what does living a genius life mean to you?
I think it's kind of what we were saying before. Like, I think whatever whenever you're channeling somewhere else, like there's this like core of who you are. And like you're existing, and you know you're in the game of whatever we're doing here. But like, I think the more you could connect to this like the core, whether it's spiritual, like whatever, however you describe that, I think we all feel that thing. There's something where there's something inside, or you know, like we're representing. And I think when you're connected to that thing, is when I feel like that's the genius life. You know, things just work better, and the world's better when that happens. I like to say, my friend always taught me, and I always used to sign my signature saying, I'm a plus in a plus minus world. And I think there's something about that when I think of the genius life and just connecting to the good stuff. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Love you, dude. Thanks for coming.
Love you too, bro.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Check out Ryan's music. Check out Stationhead. And I will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.